July of 1963, the Iowa City Ministerial Association urged the City Council to create a committee that could address racial and religious bias, bigotry, and prejudice in the community. On August 20th, the City Council established just such a committee, the Human Relations Committee, now known as the Human Rights Commission. Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Sioux City also established their first Human Relations Commissions in the same year. Des Moines and Davenport had started their commissions in 1955 and 1962, respectively. The commission consisted of 7 members representative of racial, religious, ethnic, business, and labor groups. Its purpose was to study the community to determine the existence and extent of problems in the area of human relations. It was agreed by this first ever Human Rights Commission that housing should receive priority in this study. In September, 7 members were appointed to the commission: Reverend Lawrence Sones, Maury Constantino, Emil Trott, Simeon Strauss, Helen Lemmy, Irene Kenny, and Richard Sidwell. Reverend Lawrence Sones was appointed chairman. As chairman, Sones was often quoted in the Press Citizen and advocated passionately for the commission. The Reverend spearheaded the Fair Housing Ordinance conceived by the commission in its first year. Maury Constantino was a Japanese-American activist born in Sacramento, California. In her youth, Constantino was imprisoned alongside her family in a Japanese-American internment camp. She traveled to the Midwest for college and settled in Iowa City with her husband and children. In addition to her work on the commission, Constantino was a member of multiple local clubs and organizations, including the Iowa City League of Women Voters, the University of Iowa's Newcomers Club, and Iowa City's Citizens for Peace. Emil Trott was already a well-established attorney when he began serving on the commission. Trott brought his legal expertise to the commission and was involved in its request for all city contracts to contain a non-discrimination clause. Outside of his work on the commission, Trott was president of Iowa City Housing, Inc. and head of the Iowa State Bar Association. He continued to enjoy a successful career in law until his retirement in 1984. Simeon Strauss was not only a member of the First Commission, but also went on to succeed Reverend Sones as chairman during his second term. A prominent figure in the local Jewish community, Strauss served as president of Eastern Iowa's B'nai B'rith Lodge, as local chairman at Iowa City's United Jewish Appeal, and as president of the Agudas Achim congregation. Helen Lemmy, who had devoted her life to the rights of African Americans and women, had already been crowned Iowa City's Woman of the Year by the time the commission came into existence. Lemmy was a vocal advocate for the commission, pushing for funding, as well as leading efforts to educate locals on the commission's purpose. Lemmy was also active in the local Baptist community and served as the president of the Iowa City Area Council of Churches. Her other political ventures included serving on the Iowa City Recreation Commission, the Johnson County Democratic Women's Organization, and the Johnson County Democratic Central Committee. Irene Kenny often traveled and spoke on behalf of the commission. While serving, she attended the Governor's Commission in Des Moines with Helen Lemmy and Simeon Strauss, and the State Conference on Housing at Coe College in Cedar Rapids. She was vocally supportive of the commission's ventures and advocated for more diversity in textbooks. Kenny and her husband owned a bar downtown that served as a literary fixture for local writers. Richard Sidwell would go on to succeed Simeon Strauss as chairman of the commission. Sidwell enjoyed a successful career as a realtor and served as a member of the Red Cross Board, president of the Johnson County chapter of the Iowa State College Alumni Association, and secretary-treasurer of the Iowa City Board of Realtors. Sidwell, along with Strauss, went on to work with the Citizens for a Better Iowa City, a group created to promote citizen participation in resolving civic issues. In its first year, the Commission completed a housing discrimination survey of the city and proposed Iowa City's first fair housing ordinance. Over the years, the city would expand the areas in which discrimination was not allowed to also include employment, education, public accommodation, and credit. The Commission also worked to expand the Human Rights Ordinance's protections to cover people receiving public assistance, families with children, sexual orientation, disability, age, marital status, the presence or absence of dependents, and gender identity. The Human Rights Commission has, since its inception, been a leader in creating change in the city. It added sexual orientation to the list of protected classes 31 years before the state of Iowa did so, and gender identity 13 years before the state. Iowa City is also one of only 3 cities in the state that protect public assistance source of income. There is much to celebrate over the Commission's 60 years, and also much to look forward to as it continues to work on making Iowa City an equitable place for all.